So the big question is this: how do most agents who don't have access to the secrets that the top agents in our industry hoard to themselves grow and prosper in today's real estate environment? That's the question. And this video podcast is the answer. I'm Pat Hyben, and welcome to Real Estate Rockstars. And now for the review of the day. Okay, got a 5-star review here from Reaper. He actually left it on Amazon about 6 steps to 7 figures, but he also mentions a podcast, so I'll read both. It says, this book, along with Pat's podcast, are great resources for anyone currently involved in or just getting started in the real estate career. Reaper. Thank you, Reaper, for the 5-star review on Amazon of 6 steps to 7 figures. Keep the comments coming, guys. I love them. And remember, I eat feedback for breakfast, so give me a 1-star review if you want, or a 5-star review if you want. I don't care. And the more reviews we get, the better guests we get. So please, subscribe first, and then leave us a review or wherever you're listening. Rockstar Nation, thanks so much for listening. Don't forget to stay to the end, where our guests will be offering a free gift. As you know, all of our guests offer a free gift, and all of these gifts can be found on the Agent Success Toolbox. You could find that by going to hybendigital.com/toolbox, or simply texting the word toolbox to 444-999. That's toolbox to 444-999. I am going to put today's free gift in today's show notes, but if you want all of them, including gifts from most of our guests that have come on the show, just go to the Agent Success Toolbox.
What's up, Rockstar Nation? I am here with a fantastic guest today, Mr. James Tyler from Orange County, California, sought-after speaker and author of the book Dominating Real Estate. Fantastic book. If you have not read it, it is on real estate sales and marketing, focused on data and tech to grow any business, including real estate businesses. You know, most of the time, realtors, real estate agents, and even real estate business owners, team owners, they just don't understand how much data and tech can really influence their business, from bringing in leads to automating things and staffing and admin and back-end systems. So we're going to talk to James today. This is a really important conversation. You're going to want to stick around and listen to the whole thing. James's coaching programs have helped thousands of people nationwide find wealth and happiness through this business and through growing businesses using data and tech as the highest caliber, or at the highest caliber. So without further ado, James Tyler, welcome to Real Estate Rockstars.
Thank you, and thank you for having me on. I'm really excited.
It is our pleasure. So let me ask you, let's start off. Where are you from? How did you get involved in all this stuff? How long have you been in business? Because you're not a traditional real estate agent. You help real estate agents, right?
Correct.
Okay.
It goes way back to 2002 after I studied computer science. I landed my first job as a dog drawer with Countrywide Home Loans. 6 months later, my branch manager promoted me to a loan closer. In 2013, I decided to move into sales. 2003, I decided to move into sales. I was ranked the number 61 top producer in the nation in less than a year of becoming an account executive at Countrywide.
Wow.
In 2006, I decided that I wanted to do real estate, and the market back then was tough. You know, it was probably the worst time to get into real estate due to the crash in 2008. However, I was still closing a few deals here and there that came my way until 2013. In the meanwhile, I was designing and coding websites and doing marketing as my primary source of income. In November of 2013, I stopped doing real estate and I opened my own marketing agency called Marketing Engines. And since then, I've been providing web design and marketing services to mortgage and real estate businesses. That's because I spent about a decade working in the mortgage and the real estate industry.
Okay.
After being involved in the mortgage and real estate industry for over a decade, I have found a significant lack of or in unified technologies. For example, real estate agents would need, on average, 12 to 15 different platforms to streamline their business. This includes.
Can you break that down for us so we can understand what are those 12 to 15 platforms? You talking social media, email marketing, things like that? Okay. What are those?
Like your MLS, your website, talking about maybe IDX solution on your website, single property websites to manage listings, social media, task management platforms. For instance, if you want to facilitate farmings, you need another platform to source leads, outsourcing to different systems in order to manage tasks, so lead management or lead task management platforms, lead sourcing platforms, home valuations, landing pages, CMA reports, DocuSign, CRM, marketing automation platforms. I mean, there's plenty of other platforms
Sure.
to run the business and streamline it. And to solve this issue, in 2007, January of 2007, I decided to also go ahead and create an all-in-one artificial intelligence sales and marketing platform that serves real estate agents. And I call that platform Cylinder. This way they can cut their costs and increase their productivity, having to learn, use, and pay for only one platform. The good news, Cylinder is scheduled to launch next year in August 2020.
Oh, wow.
On the other hand, I needed a way to educate my marketplace and my clients, them being mainly real estate agents and mortgage loan officers. So last year, I began writing the Dominate Real Estate book, which is scheduled to release on Tuesday, September 10th, next week.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah, and next I plan on reactivating my real estate license and opening my broker's office, as my vision is to become a real estate investor.
Got it. So let's talk about the book, because that's going to be really beneficial for. Look, the world of real estate is changing. We can all feel it. Data, tech, it's the way to go. I think that the average real estate agent that's kind of doing the bare minimum, just kind of maybe relying off a Sphere, that might not be here in a year from now. What are your thoughts on how the market's changing, where it's going, where the industry's going, and what is the future, or what does the future hold for the average real estate agent? Where do they need to be?
Right. So that's one of the reasons why I wrote this book. Technology and data have been really beneficial to a lot of business and not just real estate. And I wanted to kind of give that message that real estate agents, in order to grow and thrive, they really need to embrace data and technology. In my book, Dominate Real Estate, I express how crucial data and technology are to success. So I reveal practical concepts and tactics, as well as a ton of technologies real estate professionals need to use to thrive and dominate real estate. So like questions such as, how do I generate leads? Which CRM should I use? Or what email system do you recommend? By agents who have been in the business for over like 2 years, scare me. I mean, real estate agents should have been in the industry for this long, should be focusing on growing their database and building relationships.
Right.
Right. So like basic technicalities such as a CRM or an email system should have already been tested and figured out. I'm fortunate to have been an agent and have been working with other agents for over a decade. And I want to help. I want to give back, especially for those who come to me for marketing and coaching. So the easiest way for me to transfer my knowledge to them, I thought, would be by writing a book. So this is really important because over the years, I've noticed successful professionals have a functional system down, right? While others struggle managing simple tasks weekly. For example, a veteran in real estate has a team structure, has a few reliable sources of leads, automated response and follow-up system, a robust CRM system, a database, incredible online presence, and best of all, valuable resources, for whether being a blog, guides, or a effective listing presentation. They have it down. They're driven, they're extremely focused on their concise business plan, and they're executing it daily with great enthusiasm, right? On the other hand, beginners scrape for deals here and there in any way possible without really focusing on a specific target market. And that's a real problem, because when it comes to who you should be targeting and embracing data and technology, or having a written growth strategy that you are, as a beginner real estate agent or been in the business for a few years, it almost doesn't exist, at least from who contacts me and I deal with on weekly basis. And that's why I wanted to write the book and educate those real estate agents on the latest sales and marketing strategies and techniques that will allow them to dominate their marketplace. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. And this could dominate in any marketplace, right? It doesn't have, just because you're in Orange County, California, doesn't mean it can't work in Baltimore, where I am.
Absolutely. That's why I have, like, half of the book is all conceptual methods and foundational knowledge, and the other half of practical strategies and tactics that you can execute. It's highly focused on real estate nationwide, but it works anywhere in any state and for any business. But obviously, I made it focused mainly on the real estate industry.
Got it. So in your business today, what type of like tech and systems are you using to get, I guess, just max value, max automation, max lead generation? Like what type of thing are you using? Are you using Facebook ads? Are you using Google AdWords? What are you thinking?
I shy away from Google AdWords because the keywords cost for real estate and mortgage are really high, and you can't really compete with the top giants out there. But I explain, I dive in technology, recommending CRMs, marketing automation systems, email systems, text messaging platforms, also push notifications, Pecons, and a lot more. Would you like me to kind of dig deep into?
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I start off by recommending CRMs like Streak, Wise Agent, Line Desk, RealVolve, and my favorite, Boomtown. Also the Chime, Commissions Inc., and Follow Up Boss. These are all great CRM systems. I always, like with all these technologies that I recommend, one thing to keep in mind: a real estate agent shouldn't just take my word for it, or any other person's word. Oh, this CRM works for me. Because if that CRM works for me, it may not work for other real estate agents. So my advice, before you go on and take just one CRM and go with it, try 2 or 3 and see which one is most intuitive for you as a real estate agent, and use that. Because every real estate agent's strategy is different. Some people would go after sellers, some people will go after buyers, principals, or expireds. They have different strategies. Some use online lead sources, some use farming sources. So it all depends. You really have to try 2 or 3 of the platforms and see what works for you. So in terms of CRMs, I named a few. From a lead generation tools, I recommend CoreFact to outsource some leads, Geographic Farm, Listing Grabber, or Bold Leads. From an artificial intelligence standpoint, almost like an automated ISA, I suggest Structurally and Riley. They're 2 great platforms. They work for you while you sleep. They're amazing. In terms of
an automated, it's Riley's. How do you spell that?
RILEY.
And that's an automated ISA platform?
Yes, it works almost like a automated chat and kind of a robot. But trust me, buyers and sellers they couldn't even tell. They have messages that says, "Are you a robot?" And they'll be like, "No, silly, I'm a human." And I think it's in fact a robot, but it's the AI in it, it's so robust that you'd almost feel like you're speaking to a human.
Got it.
Structurally and Riley, they're amazing. Absolutely integrate those into your real estate business. You have to have a transaction management platform. If you're a big broker, you have that. But if you're not, use something. If you're a small office, use something like a Broker Mind, Realty Command, or SkySlope. Some agents, you know, they hit the phones. They love calling, and for those, I always recommend Sales Dialers, Arch Agent, or Mojo Sales.
Like you're talking about the single and triple line dialers where people can just start pounding. They're getting leads coming in, or they get buy a list and they just start pounding on it. Absolutely,
yeah. I'll you know I'll dig into all the sources of the leads. So next, I think, you know, the one missing technology that I found a lot of people don't use is call tracking and recording. You have to be able to track your effort in marketing and sales and see which one is working for you. And call tracking and recording is amazing, because if you use like services like Vumber, Just Call, Dialpad, Call Action, or Call Rail, all these companies would give you like an 800 number or a local number that you can use, where you funnel all the incoming calls, and then you would be able to tell, okay, these were like from my farming effort, these were from my Facebook ads, and then you would know after you measure which one worked best, and you drop the ones that don't work and focus more on the ones that they work.
Got it. What were a couple of the ones, call tracking and recording? You said Call Rail was one.
Vumber, with like a number but with a V as in vector. Just Call, Dialpad, Call Action, Call Rail, Call Hippo. So there's a whole bunch of them. Call Rail, Call Action, and Vumber, you know, they all have different plans and different prices. That's another reason why they should look into like most of them, because like Vumber is like, I think $9.99 a month, like Call Action is like $30. So it's just, you gotta try different ones and see which ones work for you. That's why I'm naming a couple different ones.
TribeOfMillionaires.com. Guys, write that down. Rockstar Nation got a free special offer for you. Now, I've just written a book, and it's just been published. Co-authored it with David Osborne, who's been on this show multiple times. If you don't know David, he is one of the top execs at Keller Williams Real Estate, was personally mentored for the last 2 decades by Gary Keller himself, and he's in all kinds of businesses. His bio and explanation and everything is in this book. But anyways, David and I got together. We decided to write a book. We called it Tribe of Millionaires. And I guarantee you it's going to change your life. To find out more, just go to tribeofmillionaires.com. We're going to give it to you absolutely free. Only thing we ask in return is, of course, number one, you pay the shipping. Not a big deal. But number two, that you go on Amazon and write us a review. We're really looking to get an incredible amount of reviews. And because of that, we're giving this book away for free. Go to tribeofmillionaires.com today. Hey, real estate agents and rock stars. If you're getting value out of the content in this episode, make sure you like the video and subscribe to this channel. Also, click the little bell icon to be notified about upcoming episodes. And I would also love it if you left a comment and shared the most impactful tips and tactics you've learned from the knowledge shared in this episode, or even maybe make a suggestion requesting a topic of what you'd like to learn in future episodes. I welcome any feedback below. Now, back to the episode.
Now, what type of agent should be using these? So this is a lot of stuff, and I want you to keep going all these details, because I know that the audience is feverishly writing down all these examples.
I sure hope so.
What type of agent is using all these? Because I know that the average agent is going to be very overwhelmed by something like this.
100%.
All this info. So you know, I want to finish up, and then I want to kind of get into action steps and where people can start. So what are some other resources that people can use to help increase the flow or the return of their business?
So I want to touch on your first question, Ian. The top agents are using most of these technologies. And the next point that you get to is what other technologies are, like text messaging. For instance, like Google Voice is free, but obviously that's to start your outreach process, and I can touch on that if you want.
Yeah, touch on that a little bit.
Right. So back to the technologies, and we'll get into all this. So I think we're getting ahead of ourselves here.
No, you're good.
Back to the technology. Text messaging is really important. I think Google Voice is good to start with. Is Slick Text is a good platform. Easy Texting, Simple Texting, and SendHub are all great platforms for text messaging campaign.
Okay.
I want to mention all this, and I'll get into like simplifying all this. Just bear with me.
Cool.
Voicemail drops are also great. Using technologies like Dial My Calls, Sly Broadcast, Sly Dial, Voice Logic, or VanillaSoft. They all manage voicemail drops.
Okay.
And if you have, and you should have a website, I highly recommend a website chat widget on there. It's probably the second most effective after text messaging. Chat widgets such as Fresh Chat, Live Chat Inc., Drift, Intercom, and Go Squared are all great to integrate on your website. And my favorite is email. Highly recommend BombBomb. Video is in. Every real estate agent should be doing video and sending out personalized videos using BombBomb. And if they want to send, or they're growing their business and want to send like high volume emails, ActiveCampaign is also a great platform to use. And one other thing I want to touch, ActiveCampaign.com.
And that's
for high level email sending. Like if your database is over like 5,000.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, you want to send like newsletter, ActiveCampaign is great. There are plenty more, but ActiveCampaign. The problem with some of those that you go on and Google, they don't allow mortgage and real estate campaigns, so you have to be careful on which platforms you use. And that's why I mentioned those like specific names. I mean, you can always Google email marketing platform. You go sign up for it, like MailChimp, and you send out like a real estate related or mortgage related a campaign, and it's against their terms because real estate and mortgage is a high kind of spam rated industry. So some technologies don't prefer, our kind of customers. They want technology customers. They don't want people in the banking industry coming and sending out newsletter about some, mortgage or real estate related stuff that could violate their terms.
So what other email blasting systems are out there? Because I've heard of that, where people are sending out newsletters or other campaigns, and MailChimp or other platforms are
like GetResponse, MailChimp. These ones I kind of avoid. I would stick to more like real estate related email campaigns like BombBomb or ActiveCampaign, or the CRMs that I've mentioned. They all send out email campaigns.
Got it. Okay, cool.
So the one other thing I wanted to touch on is really push notifications, which I think a lot of real estate agents are not leveraging, and it's one of the most effective marketing campaigns you could use. Companies like SendPulse, Push Engage, Push Crew, One Signal, and Urban Airship, they all manage and send push notification campains.
Tell the audience what a push campaign is, or a push notification.
A push notification, it could be web or mobile. When it's a web, it's basically if somebody goes, so let's say you go into Push Crew or Push Engage and you subscribe with the push notification platform. They give you a script to put on your website. So let's say you come to my website and I'm a real estate agent. What ends up happening is you get a cookie saved on your desktop. And now on my platform for push notification, It records your IP address and your device, some technical information. But what it does, it allows me to compose a message that's very similar to text message, and then push it off to you or everybody that have visited my website, and then it pops up on your desktop that, hey, you know, James Tyler, real estate agent, have a new listing in your area. Click here to visit our open house, or whatever the message could be.
Got it.
But then what you're doing is you're really targeting people that visited your website, but you never gotten any lead or any personal information from. So this way you're able to target all your web visitors through push notification. Other form of push notification is via a mobile app. So if you're a real estate agent and you have a mobile app, then you can, when you allow customers to download that mobile app, then you can send push notifications through your mobile phone. That's the message that appears on the homepage of your mobile phone. So does this kind of make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So here's the next step that you're asking me. How, this is overwhelming, and how do real estate agents, you know, get to process all this? Here's the thing. So I'm throwing all this out there. You don't really have to use all of them as a real estate agent. So I'll give you an example, for instance. So
what are the top 3?
What's that?
What would be the top 3 you would recommend to somebody?
I would focus first on text messaging. And so, for instance, let's say I'm a real estate agent. The first, let me take you back to the audience, right? I don't want to go work with buyers and sellers and FSBOs and expireds. Let's say I want to focus, for instance, just on sellers, right? So I would go and say, okay, where can I source sellers? My recommendation is companies like Remind, Prospect Now, or Audience AI. They all give you kind of a source of sellers who are likely to sell in the next 6 months to a year, because they have run AI and predictive analytics on your market. I don't know if you're familiar with Remind, but you could, like, basically it comes free with most MLSs, and agents are able to access it for free. And Remind makes their money by selling the personal information, I think. That is, you know, once you want to export your data set, your sellers' data, they give you the option to buy their contact information. So I love Remind because you can go in, enter your zip code, and it gives you hundreds and thousands of records that you can export. And I always recommend exporting a minimum of 6,000 contacts out of Remind. So I'm giving you an example, like I'm getting into the practical way of doing this. So you're a real estate agent. You log into your MLS, you go to Remind, you enter your territory zip code, and then you export 6,000 contacts from Remind. So you take that 6,000 contacts, and then you use a virtual assistant to get all their personal information, like emails and phone numbers. Once you get that information, you have now an outreach strategy in order to convert all these, or some of these 6,000 sellers that you exported from Remind.
So how's the VA getting their personal information? Making calls or just researching?
So for instance, if we're talking about sellers, they can actually use services like fastpeoplesearch.com. It's a free service that gives out public record information, including addresses, names, addresses, phone numbers, and emails. And you could maybe download BIN Verified. You can go to binverified.com and get all that information for these sellers. I can dive more into other platforms. I mean, this is kind of the outreach process. Once the virtual assistant gets all the contacts, meaning their emails and phone numbers, usually I recommend, first step, I recommend going and using services like Zero Bounce, Never Bounce, or data validation to clean up invalid email addresses. And then the next step is having the virtual assistant use X-Verify, Data Finder, or phone validation to clean up all the non-mobile phone numbers. And that's one step that most of the agents that I've worked with, they miss. So they go source sellers leads or FISBOs, from like Falcon 7 or the Redex, and they start pounding the phones or import them all to dialers and stop calling. And usually 60% of these numbers are invalid, or they try to like email them or text them. And again, most of these numbers are not verified or valid. So the first step is to save all that hassle and frustration. I say, okay, well, take a service like Zero Bounce and verify all the email addresses and all the email people that are actually there. And take services like Xverify and upload your CVS files of your phone numbers and only export the mobile phone numbers so you can reach out to the people that actually have phone numbers, not invalid landlines and mobile numbers. So once all this is cleaned up, I recommend agents to get in touch with a minimum of 80 people per day using both email and text messaging, and not to like upload them and blast spam them. Literally just outreach manually to those people. If you can reach 80 contacts per day, you're going to be able to reach between 6,000 to 7,200 contacts within 90 days. And the goal of me putting that plan in place is to get at least two to four listings per month, or 6 to 12 listings within the 90 days.
Got it.
So that's kind of the outreach strategy. And you asked me the top ones. So you're starting with text messaging people. So for instance, you'd say, hey, is this, so you're texting a person, hi, is this Ian? And then you want to try to get people to like respond. Don't like text, hey, my name is James Tyler, I'm a real estate agent in your area. I want your business, and avoid that. Try to really connect with people. That's the first step. So you're taking 6,000 or 7,200 contacts, you're cleaning them up, you're leveraging data and technology to get a hold of those people. When you want to connect with them, that's where my best real estate advice probably comes in. I think I'm talking too much here. Yeah.
Well, you're totally fine. This is valuable information. Honestly, I mean, myself as a real estate agent, it's super valuable. I want to know what technology is out there today, and I want to know how to put it together in a purposeful way to get into action. So that's where we are. We're talking about getting into action. So text messaging, like I want to know your top three. So
okay, so text messaging is 1, and 2 is email, and 3 is social media. Assuming that you're not able to set up face-to-face appointments. So again, let me explain this. Face-to-face appointments is the top best way to connect and convert. But assuming you're in the outreach process, text messaging is 1, email is 2, social media is 3. The goal is to set up the face-to-face appointment. Does that make sense?
Yep. Totally.
And then, so again, back to, hey, don't spam people, don't send them emails, just use text messaging in a way to connect with people. And then once you connect with them, try to build relationships. So my 2 pieces of advice to real estate agents: first, don't just go use social media and with the approach like, hey, look at me, approach. Try to engage with people in your local area, like socialize with them, raise them, get to know them, focus on building relationships. So add people that you connected with on social media or via text or email to your Google contacts or iCloud contacts. And the reason I say this is because you can sync those contacts into your mobile phone. So if you have like iCloud email account or a Google email account, as soon as you add it to your phone and enable the contacts toggle button in your settings on your phone, you can sync your contacts from cloud into your phone. Does that make sense?
It does, definitely.
So this way you're able to use your phone on the go, on the road, wherever you are, to keep your outreach process, texting people and messaging people. And what I recommend, always introducing yourself. So, hey, is this Pat or is this Ian? Yes. Oh, hey, my name is James. Just wanted to kind of introduce myself and see if there's anything I can do for you and answer any questions regarding real estate. You know, oftentimes you get, no, thank you. I'm not looking right now. I'm not selling. I'm not buying, whatever. Like, just don't take things personally. All you're trying to do is really connect with people in your marketplace, that 6,000 contacts or 7,000 contacts that I've talked about, right? Because what, you know, what agents want to do right away is, you know, they want to start qualifying. They want to convert them now. Like, that's not the goal here. The goal is really just to connect with them, build a relationship, and just keep following up like you would follow up with a new friend. And this method is powerful. I promise you'll get listings from social media. And best of all, it's free. These methods are free. And the second thing is just don't qualify them right away. Focus on providing value, building relationships. If you're genuine and beneficial, you'll earn your commission. Otherwise, people will sense your sales pitch and walk away.
It's very true. Very true. So why not go for the appointment right away? Or why not go for the pre-qualifying to get the appointment right away? Why not get in front of as many people as possible to build in-person, face-to-face relationships?
That's a great question. So I'm a real estate agent. I'm getting hold of, you know, John Doe down the street. And I'm just going out there and trying to work with him and trying to qualify him and try to convert him right away. The problem with that, people don't want to work with people they don't know. And especially in real estate, it's personal, right? So people work with people they trust, like and love and trust, right? So they don't work with strangers. So if you try to qualify someone right away, they're going to try to find a way out. And sooner or later, they're just going to try to avoid you because you haven't built that rapport. You really need to build the rapport. And that's again, going back to having your social media down, having your online presence down, having your website. Like in my book, one chapter I talk about, like for instance, if you Google real estate agent in my area on Google right now, you will only probably find 2 or 3 results of the top real estate agents in your area. Though there could be like 50 other agents, but they won't come up on Google like first 5 pages. And the reason being is very simple. Most real estate agents have the boilerplate like about us page. It tells me as a potential home buyer or home seller nothing about the agent. It's just, you know, generic information. So I recommend always writing your tagline, writing a bio, writing your executive summary, telling a story how you got into real estate. Like, get personal, like really invite people to get to know who you are, because people, the first thing are doing are Googling properties and searching on Zillow and so on and so forth. So somehow, some way, you want them to end up landing on your website. And then when they land on your website and they see your website just like any other website, you're not really inviting them to get to know you on a personal level. So that information, the bio, the tagline, the executive summary, your storyline, and all this really makes your personal brand. So going back to why you shouldn't qualify right away, because you haven't built rapport. People want to talk to you, you introduce yourself, they want to go back and research you. So when they research you, they find all your information on your website, the pictures of your family, pictures of properties you closed. Now they think, oh, wow, this is a good real estate agent. I should probably work with. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. So what would you say for an agent listening right now who, you know, maybe they've got Boomtown or Zillow leads coming in and they're pushing to qualify and set appointments with everybody they possibly can, you know, kind of like we've been taught. What do you recommend somebody do? Like, what's that conversation look like? So the prospective seller or buyer, they pick up on the other line. We're the real estate agent. What are you saying to somebody like that, just to build rapport and not set the appointment and not try and close them?
Do the math. It's worth every single dollar. That's a title of a comment that I got on my certified listing agent course from Rebus University. It's from Bill Reeg. This is what Bill says. Bill says, looking to take your listing presentation to the next level? I've closed 100 appointments since I took Pat's certified listing agent course. 5 appointments, 5 new clients, 60 days. Boom, do the math. It's worth every single dollar. Thanks, Bill. But listen, guys, I am offering this to you if you haven't already taken it, because so many brokers and teams make their agents take it before they do a single listing appointment. But if you haven't taken it, you can go to rebusuniversity.com and get it now. Now, here's the thing. For 30 days, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you that course. I'm going to give you the buyer agent course, which teaches you how to close every single serious buyer that calls on the phone or emails. The certified team agent course is taught by Jeff Cohn, one of America's top agents, on how to build a team from zero to hero to hundreds and hundreds of units every year, step by step. It's like a 12-hour course, plus 7 other courses. Yes, you heard that right. All for a measly $127 a month. If you were to go to Rebus University and buy these courses individually, it costs you over $10,000. But today, if you go to futureofrealestatetraining.com, that's futureofrealestatetraining.com, you'll learn what Bill Reeg did, which is how to close 100% of the listing appointments you go on. Quite impressive. And you'll learn all the other incredible details provided in the 11 5-star courses that are offered. Yeah, it's like all you can eat bazaar. You go in now and you pay $127 a month. If you can eat all 11 courses in 1 month, that's all you pay is $197. This is a bargain, guys. Get it now. Futureofrealestatetraining.com. Hey, real estate rockstars, this is Pat Hyben, and before we jump back into today's content, I want to tell you about an extraordinary offer from an extraordinary company. I'm talking about My Outdesk. If you haven't heard of My Outdesk, basically they are a virtual assistant company, a VA company that specializes in virtual assistants for real estate agents. Yeah, I'm talking about transaction coordinators, marketing assistants. I'm talking about ISAs, inside sales agents that prospect thousands and thousands of seller leads and buyer lead follow-ups. I mean, these guys are trained in this stuff specifically. You're not using a company that doesn't know or understand real estate sales. 4 out of 5 of the top teams in the U.S. use My Outdesk for their virtual assistants. And because I know the owner, Daniel Ramsey, I've known him for over a decade, and I know how awesome and incredible this company is and how it saves agents thousands and thousands of dollars every single week and makes them thousands and thousands of more every single week, we're going to give you a $400 coupon off of your first month of a virtual assistant and give you a free book entitled Scaling Your Business with Virtual Professionals. So you can read it and look into it before you decide anything. It's called Scaling Your Business with Virtual Professionals. And you can get it real easy. All you got to do is text the word Hyben, H-I-B-A-N, to 31996. That's H-I-B-A-N to 31996. And download your free book, Scaling Your Business with Virtual Professionals. And don't forget to mention also that you get a $400 discount, which will give you a coupon for that when you download the book. Thank you, guys, and I hope you enjoy and make a ton of money using My Outdesk.
Right. So first of all, you got to be strategic. So for instance, when you're sending out a text saying, hey, is this Ian? Yes. You want to say, hey, we just listed a property in your area. Do you know anyone that's looking to buy? It doesn't even have to be your own property. You could say, hey, there's a listing next to you in your community. Do you know anyone that would like to buy? So you're getting buyer leads. So if you're doing, so going back to all these technologies, right? If you're doing text messaging, that's great. If you're doing voicemail drop, that's great. If you're doing email, that's great. Whichever technology you want to kind of use in order to run your campaign, the goal is to try to measure the demand, right? So you're connecting with them, you're sending out a voicemail drop, a listing in your area, Do you know anyone? Yes or no. You're following up with the people, right? And those who are interested, let's say you did a voicemail drop and they called back. Your recorded phone line, right? The call tracking that I mentioned.
Yeah.
Don't answer the phone right away, because that person could be telling you, hey, don't call me anymore, I'm not interested, or whatever it is. The ones that are interested, they're going to leave you a voicemail and they're going to say, oh yes, I'm interested in this, call me back, here's my number, etc. Now what you're doing is you're sending out all this outreach to 6,000 people, but you're only filtering the ones that are interested. Does that make sense? So those ones become those ones become your kind of A clients. Those are the ones that are interested to buy or sell in the next, let's say, 3 months. So those ones you qualify, but the rest of them you don't, because they haven't shown interest. So to answer your question is send out outreach messages, measure the response, and for those ones that want to actually pursue your services, those are the people you call or have your administrative assistant set up appointments with to go out and meet them face to face. Remember, you're doing the texting and the and email marketing, and the social media is to set up a face-to-face appointment, right? To qualify them. You can have the administrative assistant or yourself as a real estate agent qualify those are interested in your services, but don't try to qualify everybody under the sun. Leave the A's, leave the B's group and the C's group for later. You need to nurture them. You need to follow up with them until they're ready. Does that make sense?
Totally makes sense. I love that. Very simple. Like, send out your info, measure your response, and for those that want to pursue your services, set up an appointment. That's a great way of doing it. That way you're really not begging for business. I love that.
Exactly. So this is where kind of I talk about in my book about segmenting and profiling and grouping your database, because you want to be able to have A and B and C groups, go after A, nurture, so move A to sales, nurture B's and C's until they make it to A, and then set up the appointments. So it makes perfect sense.
Makes absolutely perfect sense. So then, so we've got text messages, we've got social media campaigns, and we've got email systems, drips, drops, things like that, or email blasting systems. Now let's talk about video. I think that's one of the most underutilized tools in this business. How much do you love video and support its ability to get you a lot more than you think?
Absolutely. Video is in. I think every real estate coach out there recommends using video. And I cannot stress enough how important video is for the personal element of it. BombBomb is thriving and keeps on thriving because it's one of the best platforms out there that serves this need. And I feel, it is absolutely, I agree with you, it's underutilized, and real estate agents really need to jump on video, especially Instagram live. If you're afraid of camera, try to do some videos professionally first. Take your time before you just take a freestyle, hold your phone and start doing it. Right. Whatever works for you, just grab that phone and start doing videos and posting it on Instagram, posting it on Facebook, posting it on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is super underutilized by real estate agents. And it's another platform that you could really get high quality leads from it, because all these professionals are on LinkedIn. And if you're using like LinkedIn Pulse to write some beneficial article about the market and where we headed, maybe not, there's a recession, the prices are going to go down, it's best time to buy. Like these things, real estate agents really need to immerse themselves in it and really provide value. Blog, like write, and take what you write and just summarize it in a 1-minute video. You'd be super surprised how easy this thing is. Write an article that's 1,000 words about what do you feel like the market is headed next. Are we having a recession? Will home prices go down? Will Feds reduce the rate even further? Like all these, technicalities that are in our business, people don't usually know that. They don't know what's happening with the Feds.
Sure.
know what the market is doing. Those are the questions they have in mind, and they want somebody to answer them, right? People don't read. But when you write 1,000 words, now you could like easily summarize that in 30 seconds, in a video. And when you put that on LinkedIn post and you put the video on top, you're going to get so much traction because LinkedIn is going to promote your blog post or posts, and your video could go on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, I mean, you name it. And that's really where you build that momentum. You have to be able to write and share valuable information to build momentum, especially if you're able to put it on video and share it all over social media.
Yeah, I love that. Absolutely love that. I'm a huge proponent of video. Look, it's not, you're not going to be the best at it the first day you start. It takes a little practice. You practice in the mirror, you get a little like 3-liner card and you just practice reading it, then memorize it, then look in the camera. And one of the compliments that I've heard before is like connecting with the camera is the best thing you can possibly do, because then you're connecting with the person's eyes on the other side, and then they connect with you. And then most people that feel that comfortable, they want to reach out.
Absolutely.
Right?
Again, it takes practice. Everything takes practice. Just like you practice your scripts, you got to practice on video.
Right.
And, you're going to get judged anyway. We get judged all the time. If you're going to care about all this, you're never going to make it because, you're afraid of being judged. That's going to really hold you back. I think you just got to go for it. And my best tip and advice, if you really want to excel on video, is write down your scripts and rehearse, write down 1,000 words and then summarize them in a video, because you'll have something to talk about.
Well, one of the things that I like to do is just write bullet points. So if I have spring cleaning tips or whatever it might be for the video, I just write down 10 things that I know I can elaborate on. I tape those up under my camera, that way they're right there, and I can talk. And in conversation, I can just bring up those 10 topics.
Absolutely agree, 100%.
Yeah.
If you like, when I go on stage and I want to speak about something, that's what I do. Let's say my speech is 30 minutes, and I want to speak about each subject 10 minutes. I would write 3 bullet points.
Right.
So it's perfect. Yes, 100%. I agree with you.
Love that. So, what else do you think that real estate agents need to know now to be able to get into action? Or is there anything else from the book that we can talk about that will help somebody get into action like today?
Yes, absolutely. You want to be able to remove yourself from the business and have it always producing income. So don't be the engine that runs your business. You want to kind of be able to facilitate the entire system, build your entire growth system, really figure out how you dominate your marketplace, and then kind of remove yourself from each piece little by little, replacing yourself with whether it's a VA, whether it's another agent, whether it's an ISA, the administrative assistant. My best advice is you really have to build the system and learn it yourself, how to be the most productive, and then you teach other, because most agents, they don't want to do the work. They just want to hire, marketing agencies to do their social media. They want to hire other people to do other stuff, which I get it. Like, you want to focus on sales, but really, if you don't have the foundation down, if you don't have marketing down, if you don't have business development down, sales is not going to thrive. And if it's going to go thrive, you're going to really hustle. You're going to put a lot of hours in. You're going to put big budgets in, and in order to make it, and you're really going to suffer. So I say, go back to the drawing board, learn the basic foundation for every business to thrive. Get down to the outreach strategy, business development, learn really how marketing works and which method works best for you. Like, if you did voicemail drops and you have figured out the strategy after a few months, stick to it. If it's working, you don't need to go and do everything else. Like, this works, just stick to it, right? If you're doing Instagram ads and it's working for you, stick to it. If it's not working, move on to something else. Maybe go source, FISBOs and work on that. If you're doing dialer and it's not working, maybe focus on something else, on email marketing or text message. Just try different things and see what works for you. Perfect it over time, and when you perfect it yourself, then hire people to do the pieces for you. Then you can then remove yourself from it and leave your business thrive on its own. You just have to overlook it and manage it. And that's really what real estate agents need to do. You really have to get your hands dirty and get in there and do the work, do the hustle until you figure it out. Once you figure it out, then remove yourself and keep thriving.
I love it.
Does this make sense?
That's been it's been a ton of information. So we've been talking for about an hour, and I want to wrap up and make sure we've got action steps and enough information we have enough information, and we've got the action steps for people to take. So I want to talk about the book real quick again, Dominate Real Estate, and that's coming out next Tuesday. So in 1 week from now, right?
Correct.
This won't air. So it's the book. By the time this airs, the book will be out. Totally fine. Why should people pick it up?
Why should people pick it up?
Yep.
I have not read a real estate book that goes through so much information that's packed in a book like this. I mean, we've just been on a podcast for an hour. I barely covered 10% what this book has.
I love that. Okay, cool.
So I guarantee you, I think I have 127 tactics in this book. Yes, it's probably overwhelming and technical, but if you, as a real estate agent, execute 20% of these tactics in this book, I guarantee you're going to succeed and dominate the marketplace.
Love it. So where can people get a hold of you?
JamesTyler.com, www.jamestyler.com. I have a marketing agency, marketingengines.com, and Dominate Real Estate, www.dominate.realestate.
Got it. So we can, anything that anybody wants to find, we can go to hibandigital.com/James Taylor and find everything, including your free gift. So what's your free gift that you're going to be handing out to the audience?
All the concepts and methods explained in this book, I am going to provide it free to them. And cool. It's called Dominate Real Estate Methods. They're all the concepts that real estate agents must know in order to thrive. DRE concepts. Dominate Real Estate Concepts.
And so you can find that at hibandigital.com, the agent toolbox. And again, hibandigital.com, agent toolbox, or hibandigital.com/James Tyler, Tyler. James, this has been an action-packed, info-packed podcast, man. Really, really appreciate all of your quite precise and concise information. And yeah, it can be overwhelming, but you're right. Just pick a couple things, work them through for a couple months, and then figure out what really works for you. And, if you're in an area that doesn't have a ton of neighborhoods, more of a vacation spot, maybe geographic farming isn't for you. But if you're in a place like, and it's a huge sprawling neighborhoods, maybe geographic farming is for you. Even if somebody already owns the neighborhood or is dominating the neighborhood, there's always room in there because people are buying you, your personality, who you are, right? Not just that you're another real estate agent.
Absolutely. I agree. Build your personal brand. That's by far one of the most important tips I probably could give on this podcast. Focus on you, focus on your personal brand. And I'm always happy to help you. Thanks for having me on.
It's absolutely my pleasure. Real Estate Rockstar Nation, I want to thank James Tyler for being on. James, we'll catch you soon. Can't wait to read that book, man. And look forward to having you on again after the success of the book and figure out how you've helped real estate agents even more.
Happy to do it. Anytime.
All right, James.
Thank you for having me. Have a good one.
Yeah.
I want you to think about the word toolbox. What is a toolbox? A toolbox is a box full of tools that you use to build something great. At Real Estate Rockstars, we've created our own free toolbox. So everybody that comes on the show as a guest brings a tool with them, and we plow them all into this toolbox, and we give it away for our viewing audience to basically use as they wish. Everything we put in there is an actionable item that can be downloaded, can be printed, can be used immediately. And we got things like scripts and dialogues, checklists for teams, checklists to keep agents accountable, referral forms that are filled out at settlement to get referrals by your buyers and sellers. Everything you could think of that you could use on a regular basis about real estate is included in this toolbox. And it's helping agents worldwide sell more houses and make their jobs a lot easier and processes much more efficient. And the thing is, it's absolutely free. All you got to do is go to hibandigital.com/toolbox or text the word toolbox to 444-999. That's toolbox 444-999. Do it now. Rockstar Nation, thank you for listening to Real Estate Rockstars. Listen, I need a favor. If you find this free content helpful, if you find our downloadable items from each guest helpful, please, I need you to pull out your pointing finger. Yes, the one finger that points at people, and hit subscribe. Yes, subscribe. The more subscribers we get, the better we look in the ratings, and the easier it is to get guests like Robert Kiyosaki, Barbara Corcoran, all the players that are on $1 million listing in the different cities. All that stuff makes it easier the more subscribers we get, so please subscribe. And listen, there's a lot of places you can leave comments. There's a lot of places you can like. We're on Facebook. We have an Instagram page. Instagram page is I am Pat Hyben. The Facebook is Real Estate Rockstars Radio. Feel free to leave us comments there. The most popular form of commenting seems to happen on YouTube. Yes, for whatever reason, it's a very open environment. So just go to YouTube and go to Real Estate Rockstars Radio. Leave us comments there. Some of them we will read on the show. We love your feedback. So thanks, guys, and I hope you are having a great day. Oh, and also, listen, if you're going to subscribe and you haven't already left a review on iTunes, please do that too. Have a great day, and thanks so much, Rockstar Nation. I really appreciate you.